today we're going to be talking about my experience so far with the free online drawing course, Draw a Box. It might be a long video, so I have timestamped the topics in the description below if you want to skip to the point. If you're new here, hello, I'm Jenny and I make stationery, art and lifestyle videos here on YouTube. So I started my art journey in 2020 and I aimed to draw every day for a year. If you want to hear the reasons why I started my art journey and what was it that I was struggling with in the first place, I will link that video in the corner or in the description below. I'm currently on my 8th month in this book, Draw Every Day, Draw Every Way. I feel like I'm ready for something a bit more structured, a bit more practice and with a bit more meaning to it. I basically want to take my skills to the next level. And this is when I was recommended the free online drawing course, Draw a Box. So you may be asking, what is Draw a Box? The aim of the course is to help people develop their perspective and construction drawing skills. There are 12 sections to the course and the lessons are made up of written articles with video reinforcements. And throughout the lesson, it will give you exercises and homework. Draw a Box has actually been around for so many years and so many students have actually been through it. It's actually gathered a community from beginners to self-taught artists who basically want a more structured practice. The content there is constantly being revised and improved to help us better understand. All you need to start is a pen and a piece of paper. It's free, so you can start it anytime. But one thing I want to reiterate is the importance of reading every single word in those written articles and start from lesson 0, which talks about the course in depth and how you can use it best. So to give an example, this is how I study the course. I would watch the video first, then I would read the article without touching my pen or doing anything. I want to take this time to really absorb the information. And then I go on to other people's submitted homework and have a look at what they've done, whether I understood it the same way, and also look at what the critiques say as well. Afterwards, I will actually do the exercise and homework and follow the written article with the reinforced videos again and do it step by step. I have started a folder where I'm going to be keeping my loose sheets so I can just see the process and progress. Another thing that is great about this course is that you can actually get feedback. It actually encourages you to not live in your own little bubble and kind of reach out. There are 2 ways of doing this. The first way is free. You can actually submit your homework or your exercises to the Draw a Box community via Reddit or Discord. The second way is via Patreon. They run on a credit system and it starts off approximately $5 a month. But just note on this, the submissions are strict. So anything that they talk about in terms of requirement in the homework, it needs to be followed. I went for the paid option. I was actually quite surprised how quickly it came back, but this is how the critique went with my lesson 1 homework. And I'll let you know in the end whether it was worth it or not. Lesson 1 covers drawing confident lines, ellipses, boxes, and practicing perspective. Here's how I got along. So this is the first exercise where we had to draw 1 line and go over it 8 times. I started small, then moved on to the middle sections, and then this, it went a bit crazy. But when I did the second page, I did have a go at the curves as well, and hopefully I did it right. I have no idea, but I just kept on going anyway. In summary,
hey, just jumping in here and letting you know that the official critique is longer than this, so if you want to have a read, pause it now. Otherwise, I'm going to summarize it for this video.
The superimposed lines look solid. This is lesson 1, exercise number 2. I had to put 2 dots and then try and draw a straight line from it. I find myself like missing the dots quite a lot. Look how short this one is compared to where the dots should be. There's lots of underperforming lines here. For the next exercise, we had to use the same type of method to create these type of shapes. We had to do like 2 pages of these. I actually really enjoyed creating these blocks, to be honest. It was quite therapeutic. There are lines where it kind of curved. Ghosted lines and planes seems confident, but there are some insecurities with the lines coming up short, and we are aiming for smooth and straight lines. This is the second section, the ellipse section of lesson 1. I found this one very difficult at first. As you can see over here, the circles are overlapping, but it gets a little bit better as we go along. So we have to do 2 pages of those. You can start to see over here, circles are not as tight. It's very loose. So I don't know what they're going to say about this. I definitely found it very challenging to keep to the boxes. The ellipses are mostly good, but there are some minor issues. Number 1, they start off stiff, so it's really important to be confident from the start. So I got recommended to ghost more before committing. Number 2, there are some pointy ellipses, which is a sign that I'm using my wrist to my elbow too much. So I'm not actually moving my shoulders, which is something that I should do more of. Number 3 is general looseness and inconsistent rotations, which ghosting will help, and I could do with a little bit more attentiveness. And for the second exercise of the ellipse section, we had to use the same ghosted panes from the first section and draw ellipses inside those. And as you can tell, it has been very difficult for me to draw circles. And then we had to do 2 pages of that. Even though it was difficult, I actually quite enjoyed it. The ellipse in planes are solid. Yay! So for the last one, I had to do funnels where we drew a cross in the middle and then curves on the side. We have to follow the curves and make sure that the circles are in the center of this line, which I actually found really enjoyable. I think I got some of them, but as you can tell, like there's quite a few that are just horrendous. So the funnels look good, snug, and look properly cut in half by the respective axes. Woohoo! So we're on to section 3 of lesson 1, and it's all about perspective with boxes. This was pretty fun. I really enjoyed it. So the plotted perspective is clean, but I need to avoid reinforcing those lines when it's coming up short. So this exercise really made me use my brain. All of the boxes here were hand drawn. Only the frame and the horizon was drawn with a ruler. And at the end of the exercise, after drawing the 3D boxes, we had to use red pencil to show where the edge of the boxes go against the horizon line. They are supposed to go towards this vanishing point. Only a couple of boxes over here managed to get there, but you can see I feel like the further away my boxes are, the harder I find to kind of line up the vanishing point. This one completely wrong. This one, it gets a little bit better. And then over here, there's the last one. I like this part over here, but this one is completely incorrect. I definitely feel that my brain is fried after this. Saying so, I did enjoy it. And I do feel towards the end, my lines started to get straighter. For the rough perspective is a good start, but there are a few boxes that shows that I'm not checking the vanishing points. Basically, don't guess it. Make sure you're always plotting, checking, plotting, then commit. So this is the rotating box. 9th exercise, homework, lesson 1. I actually really enjoyed this. This is the first attempt of having the corner box, and then I felt it getting a little bit better afterwards. I got really confused over here as well, like just on the corners. I tried to keep the perspective correct. I really enjoy Tetris, so I really related it to Tetris and just thought about the shapes kind of like fitting in tightly together. I'm not sure how the critique is going to be. I enjoyed it. The rotating box size looks great. The critique recommends me to draw bigger, so then that way there's a little bit more room to work out. Also, they noticed that there are some issues with the far planes, but that's something that the 250 box challenge will help resolve. And how long did that actually take me? It took me about 2 hours. Alrighty. Ideally, it should have gone smaller, so this box should actually be smaller and this box should have been bigger. This is a bit figuring things out. It started off well, and then I really didn't know the angles and things like that over here, like how it should kind of like ride off. Did I enjoy it? Yeah, I did. Was it confusing? Yes, it was confusing. Definitely, especially with the lines going out. There were points where I just had no idea what I'm doing and how I'm supposed to be thinking. It just got really, really confusing. But I was trying to be aware of the dramatic foreshortening and the shallow foreshortening as well. I'm so glad that there is a second page of this, but look at this one. This is like absolutely incorrect. Over here, they just felt like the boxes look the same. Like I tried to put a box over here. I don't know whether you can actually see it, but yeah, it just gets bigger and bigger. And I think this one compared to this one is a nice contrast. Finally, the organic perspective exercise is solid, and they were happy to see that I was using most of the page, and in general the boxes are flowing. It would have been visually easier on the eye if I used more line weight, but that's something that I can practice in future exercises. In my comments, I actually asked a couple of questions, and surprisingly, they didn't shy away from it. They actually expanded it. So in my submission comments, I mentioned about, I feel that when I'm doing fun work, there isn't a substance, and I feel like I am judging myself quite a bit. The critique basically replied that I don't need substance, it should just be a process that I'm enjoying and I'm loving, and it shouldn't be treated like a checklist, must do, like done, done, done. And then I asked about finding art style. They mentioned that it's something that will organically come within time. You can't really push it. They encouraged me to spend lots of time like observing other artists, because the second part, the last part, is where you really need the fundamental knowledge. They left a link to Uncomfortable's comment about art style versus fundamentals. I'll put that link down below as well if you want to have a little read. Uncomfortable explains it and encourages us to see it like this. Fundamentals are the foundation, the basics, the facts of the world. So that's what you're trying to portray. You need to have that knowledge to be able to portray. Whereas style is like an Instagram filter where you just apply that style onto that fact. And to find a style, we need to treat it like a chef testing a new dish. We need to try things out, tweak things, let it sit, try again, and then eventually we will get to a style that we are looking for. But our taste gradually changes, which then we would need to go through the whole process again. So in summary, it's a never-ending journey. Uncomfortable's explanation and metaphors there has really helped me like see, and I feel that question has been really unblocked. And finally, the critique answers my main question, which is what exercises I can do whilst doing Draw a Box. And the answer is to basically draw and create as if you have all the skills in the world. That way we'll be able to find out what needs to be worked on and help us make future decisions. I feel that before I was thinking, oh, I need to be really good at this. before I can actually move on to that project. I kind of like divide my thoughts like that. No, just go for it. Try and we shall know, right? So the ultimate question, do I feel paying the official critique is worth it? So the answer to that question is yes. I was really impressed how quickly they came back with feedback. It was very thorough, like an essay. It wasn't just a one-worded answer. They actually came back with things that I did well and the things that I could have improved on. And not only did they answer my questions, they actually expanded on the topic and shared links. I feel like it's the best £5.50 I've ever spent. There were some questions there that has been playing on my mind for a very, very long time, and they've unblocked and helped me think in a different way. I really hope this video helps and it has given you an insight to what this lesson kind of involves and what it's like to have official critiques marking your homework. If you want to join my art journey, hit that subscribe button. I look forward to sharing how I feel about the 250 box challenge. First impression, it was like, oh yeah, this can be done quickly, but no, I've got a feeling that it's going to take me donkeys. It's going to actually take me donkeys. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. I would also love to hear what you think about Draw a Box, or if you've already done it, how did you feel about it? For now, thanks for watching and I shall see you in the next video. Goodbye.